there have been a lot of challenges out there that some very unexpected when we look at the kind of shocks, the global shocks that we faced over the last couple of years. Some I think that we were seeing emerge, and because it's a little bit like the frog in the boiling water, the water has been getting warmer and warmer, and it's hard to actually sometimes coalesce and get people really active and moving when you see people that are closer to being in the boiling water and they're just not happening. So there's this accumulation of shocks that are out there that really the tipping point has been the impacts that we've seen from the Ukraine, Russia situation, but it doesn't underemphasize the critical importance of these systemic and longer term both shocks and crises and stresses that were already there and really were already affecting so fundamentally the progress that could be made in many of these countries. I mean, you're looking at the endemic conflict that seems to be out there across different countries, Ethiopia, Afghanistan, Myanmar, parts of other countries as well. You're looking at the rising levels of sort of natural disasters and more extreme shocks that come through the normal cycles of droughts and normal dryness that also exacerbate the situation in these countries. And when you layer them all together, that really has put severe stress and really undermined the ability to meet the SDGs. But let's, I would like to look at this also in terms of just the level of commitment that we've seen across the development community as well. And I guess it has been a lot of statements at the global level where we've seen the G7 come together with the Global Alliance on Food Security. We've seen the whole UN partners, the whole UN system coming together under different initiatives as well. We've seen the EU, and there's been strong commitments at the global level, but it takes me back to a comment from an earlier speaker as well. It's great that we're talking and raising the profile of this, but the action happens in the countries. Mm-hmm. And it's not just about making commitments globally and indicating that our teams on the grounds will work together. We really need to find ways to get that message down on the ground, to put the incentives on the ground so that those teams that are working all out to meet their own institutional requirements actually take the time to reach across the street, to reach across the table even, and coordinate better with what their other partners are doing. It reminds me, and I was really welcomed the comment by Eartherin in terms of the divide or the transition between the humanitarian response, the short-term development response, and the long-term response. It really is about trying to put in place a more seamless community on the ground that is responding very directly to the ownership and the leadership that the partner countries, the lowest income countries, are already making. I mean, they're using UN processes, things such as the UN FSS and the pathways, to really develop strategies that pick up the points that you're talking about on the climate side of things. They see the impacts of climate. They also are some of the strongest practitioners on the ground with smallholders that know very well what undermining their natural resource base does to their the kind of inheritance they can leave for their children to continue to produce. They are also the ones, the women on the ground are the ones that we know can be resilient, can react quickly, and they need to be empowered. So from the perspective of the Global Agriculture and Food Security Program, it really is about reinforcing, making sure the incentives are there so that the countries have strategies, that the development partners come together and respond coherently in a harmonized way to these strategies, and get the money in the hands of the smallholders themselves so that they do what they know what they need to do, or we give them the advice and experience and help from their counterparts in other countries to make it happen. To me, this is a critical part of it. Let's get off the global stage for a minute and focus on getting support to the ground and having our teams on the ground talk to each other.